As if any of us needed one more reason to dislike the VA. The story is true. They just got busted, wrongfully giving out bonuses of about $10.8 million to executives who had no business getting this. And guess what? I've gone through the OIG report and it's horrible. Let me give you the lowlights. Okay, on September 13th, 2023, VA Secretary Dennis McDonough was alerted by the Assistant Secretary for Management and Chief Finance Officer, John Rayshak, or however you pronounce it, that the Office of Management had detected an unusual amount of payments relating to senior executives at the VA. Essentially, 367 executives had totaled more than $19.7 million over two pay periods in that September, with another 21 remaining to get bonuses still. And they found out that, hey, this is not allowed. And that's about 75% of the VA's executives. So basically, 3 out of every 4 executives got these bonuses. And I'm going to tell you why it was only 3 out of 4 in a minute. So on September 22nd, 2023, the VA provided a statement to Congress trying to explain this. And they said that they reported that these bonuses included payments totaling $9.7 million to 170 executives. However, the VA did not cancel approximately 200 of these awards, and they were made to fill the executives who were not in the VA central office. And it's important to know that these bonuses were authorized from Congress via the PACT Act, but it wasn't intended for this at all. Instead, these bonuses, CSI as they call them, were the authority to give bonuses of up to 25% salary bonuses. So essentially, they could hire and maintain employees because they knew that the PACT Act was going to generate a lot of claims, so they gave them money to get it staffed forever. But instead, the VA misused these bonuses. So how did this all happen? Well, it starts in March of 2023 with the Undersecretary for Health at a conference of all places to the attendees that many of the VHA senior executives and the field executives would be at, that the CSIs were going to be across the board, 25% bonuses for all these healthcare directors. So that's a huge bonus. Some of them totaling over $100,000. Well, right after that, the Undersecretary of Benefits, Joshua Jacobs, when he learned of this, he went to both the field and the VA central office senior executives, and he also began discussing with them that they too were going to be getting bonuses of 25% of their basic pay across the board for each of them as well. Here's where things get really interesting. The Deputy Undersecretary for Benefits came out in mid-April and said to the VA, hey, I don't like the optics of paying execs because it will add up to a number that will definitely get the attention of Congress and the public, and they will question it. This is not good optics. Another interesting point is that the National Cemetery Administration, which is part of the VA, when they found out that the VHA and the VBA were doing this, they decided not to do it. And the reason why they did so was because the Deputy Undersecretary of Memorial Affairs clearly told them that he did not believe there was a justifiable reason to do so. And he didn't believe that they qualified at all. So sometime between May and mid-July, the VA Secretary, McDonough, asked the 2 undersecretaries for additional information because he was concerned about these bonuses being paid out to senior executives. Now, in response, Dr. Anal did not disclose to the VA Secretary the plan to pay the VHA central office executives, but rather providing information only on the field offices. So essentially, he paid a bunch of people that he never even notified the VA secretary, his boss, that he was going to do without his permission, even after he expressed concern, saying, so in total, $10.8 million of bonuses were paid to 182 senior executives at the VA central office, assigned to the VHA and the VBA, which then generated the notice to the Secretary of the VA that there was this huge increase in pay. To the credit of the VA Secretary, McDonough, he immediately issued an OIG investigation into these bonuses. And the OIG clearly, in their report, lays out all sorts of examples of where the 2 undersecretaries and many other individuals failed at the VA. In late October, the VA issued letters of indemnity to these individuals who received these funds. Again, some of them are hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's 25% of their pay. It's important to know that they get paid more than members of Congress, and most of them get paid more than a U.S. senator as well, especially after these bonuses. But guess what they gave them the option to do? Something that we routinely get denied all the time as members. They got the option to get a waiver of indemnity. If they can prove that they have a financial hardship, they may not have to pay this money back. And that's not even being looked into at all. Additionally, the OIG's report said that the VA's handling of these bonuses and the recruitment damaged the morale of the senior executives. In fact, wait for it, some of them, 3, said that they were going to resign because of the hardship that this has caused them. And it has just totally brought down the morale. That's right. So essentially, if we don't get $100,000 bonus, we're not going to do our job that pays us, $200,000 to $300,000 of senior executives in many cases. We just couldn't do it for that low amount. What? Additionally, the OIG's investigation concluded that the $10.8 million they were handed out in bonuses to all the VHA and VBA employees at the central office were inconsistent with the PACT Act, and there was no basis for them to be awarded, which was kind of what they told the VBA and the VHA from the beginning, but they still did it anyway.